Governments are supposed to protect their people, but sometimes, behind locked doors and classified files, they do the exact opposite. These aren't conspiracies, they're real biological experiments carried out by governments, often on their own citizens, without consent, oversight, or mercy. Today, we're counting down 10 chilling cases of government-run bioexperiments that actually happened. 1. The Tuskegee Syphilis Study, USA, 1932 to 1972. For 40 years, the U.S. Public Health Service observed 600 black men with syphilis, never telling them they had it, and never treating them, even after penicillin became the cure. Researchers just watched as the disease ravaged their bodies and destroyed families, all in the name of scientific observation. It only ended when a whistleblower went public. 2nd Unit 731, Japan, 1930s to 1945. This top-secret Japanese military unit conducted horrific experiments on Chinese civilians and prisoners during World War II. Victims were dissected alive, infected with deadly diseases, and exposed to freezing temperatures to test endurance. Thousands died. After the war, many involved were granted immunity in exchange for their research never facing trial. 3. MK Ultra, USA, 1950s to 1970s. The CIA's mind control program secretly dosed prisoners, patients, and everyday citizens with LSD and other drugs without their knowledge. They wanted to see if minds could be controlled, erased, or rewritten. Some subjects suffered permanent psychological damage. Most of the records were destroyed. What's left is terrifying and incomplete. 4th Project 4.1, Marshall Islands, 1954. After a U.S. hydrogen bomb test exposed nearby islanders to radioactive fallout, the government secretly turned the survivors into test subjects. Instead of evacuating them, they studied the effects of radiation exposure over time. Many developed cancer, birth defects, and chronic illness. The people were never warned, never treated, just watched. PETA Operation Sea Spray, USA, 1950. To test how vulnerable cities were to biological attack, the U.S. Navy sprayed a harmless bacteria over San Francisco. But it wasn't harmless for everyone. Dozens were hospitalized with severe infections, and at least one person died. No one in the city knew they were part of an experiment until years later. 6. The Soviet Anthrax Leak, Sverdlovsk, USSR, 1979. A military lab accidentally released airborne anthrax into the city of Sverdlovsk. Dozens died. The Soviet government blamed tainted meat until defectors and researchers exposed the truth. It was a biological weapons facility, and the outbreak was a cover-up gone wrong. It was one of the deadliest bioincidents in history. 7. The Guatemalan Syphilis Experiments, USA, 1946 to 1948. U.S. researchers intentionally infected Guatemalan prisoners, sex workers, and mental health patients with syphilis and gonorrhea without telling them. The goal? To test penicillin. Over 1,300 people were infected. Many were never treated. This wasn't discovered until 2010 when a historian uncovered the files and forced the U.S. government to apologize. 8. Porton Down Experiments, United Kingdom, 1930s present. At this top-secret UK facility, servicemen were exposed to nerve agents like sarin and mustard gas, often without knowing what they were breathing. One man, Ronald Madison, died during a nerve agent trial in 1953. For decades, the UK denied wrongdoing, until court rulings and whistleblowers forced the truth into the light. 9. Operation Whitecoat, USA, 1954 to 1973. This U.S. Army program used volunteer soldiers, mostly conscientious objectors, from the Seventh-day Adventist Church to test biological agents. They were exposed to Q fever, tularemia, and other diseases to develop defensive vaccines. While the volunteers technically consented, the ethics of the program remain heavily debated. 10. The Gaydar Drug Experiments, Canada, 1960s. Funded by the Canadian government, researchers attempted to develop a machine and drug combo that could detect homosexuality in military recruits. It involved forcing participants to watch explicit material while being monitored for pupil dilation and sweat. Many lost jobs, reputations, and mental stability. It was dehumanizing, ineffective, and quietly buried in national archives for years. Governments around the world have crossed unthinkable lines in the name of national defense, science, or control, and while some of these horrors have been exposed, many more remain sealed in dusty vaults or destroyed entirely. These weren't just experiments, they were violations of trust, dignity, and human life. Which of these disturbed you the most? Let me know in the comments, and if you want more stories from the dark corners of history and secrecy, like, share, and subscribe. Thanks for watching and stay curious.